The budget gamers have been blessed with a new and very viable budget deck in the wild format with the release of Into the Emerald Dream, and that is because of Mage's new Imbue hero power mechanic. If you have not seen Mage's new Imbue hero power, it is Blessing of the Wisp, which is a 2-mana hero power that summons 1 Wisp and deals 1 damage randomly split among enemies. And when you upgrade this, you upgrade both of those numbers. So you upgrade it and it becomes summon 2 Wisps and deal 2 damage, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, so on and so forth. And we've seen Imbue Mage kind of make a splash in Standard, but it is so much more powerful in the Wild format, and that is because of one card in particular, and that would be Reckless Apprentice, which is a 4-mana 3/5 minion with the battle cry of fire your hero power at all enemies. So for how many enemies that you have, you do the Blessing of the Wisp that many times. So if, let's say, Blessing of the Wisp deals 3 damage at this point and your opponent has 5 minions out, we're dealing 15 whole damage with Reckless Apprentice. Another card to point out that is in the wild format is Wildfire. So Wildfire is a 1-mana spell that has your hero power deal 1 more damage this game. So this also translates over into the Imbue hero power. It doesn't increase the Wisp benefit, but it does increase the damage benefit. So we get pretty much an additional Imbue spell in the wild format. And this makes the deck so much more consistent than the standard counterpart. As well, we do have a few other things that Wild allows, mostly the secret package with Mad Scientist, Objection, and the ever so popular Ice Block. And that is pretty much Wild Imbue Mage. I think this deck is actually pretty insane. I've had a pretty good success rate with it. I am kind of in bronze ranks right now, but my MMR is still pretty good. So I do think that this is a pretty good representation of how this deck operates. And if you are looking for an easy climb to legend, I think this is a great option.
Jaina versus Urel.
Paladin, because we are playing the wild format, and you have to play against a paladin or a priest or a mage now because of this deck. There are truly endless numbers of 3 classes you can play against in this format. I think it's just a Mad Scientist. And we have pretty decent board clear for their big ol' minions. And we have some Imbue stuff on the horizon. Ideally, we have like 2 Imbues going on when they go in their big wide turn. So let's get Mad Scientist out there. Instrument Tech. I actually wouldn't mind if I can like slow down their Libram discounts. That wouldn't be terrible. The Star Slicer. They are playing around Rigged Fair game. Pretty simple turn. Just imbue your hero power. Also, it's like a 4/4 taunt Divine Shield. This card's insane. This card is like busted insane. I say that facing against Libram Paladin with a deck full of busted cards.
These texts! I cannot read them.
Not a bad objection.
I cannot wait to read.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to hit because of the Libram discounts, but you know, I can't be mad at a researcher being countered. Pretty smart play. Libram of Clarity is going to make them go super wide. Yep. Yep, we're just gonna do a little bit of imbuing. I'm thinking just a little bumping in there. 1/3 and 2 to their head. They're probably just gonna put a drink on this guy. Yeah, they're definitely gonna give this guy Divine Shield. But I will have a very good board clear with the Holotech. Oh right, they have that card now. Another objection for them to fight through. Or just to hit me in my head. Maybe. Okay. The Star Slicer. Ooh, I don't mind that at all. Yeah. More Wispies. Into Tour Guide. And I'm actually gonna hold on. Should I just fire it off? Because next turn I can still just do that. And if I'm really lucky, I can clear this 5-2. I've talked myself into it. Let's clear it. Always lucky. And never punished. And they never have the second beam. I mean, or they top deck the second beam. You know. Just Libram Paladin stuff. Always draw your good cards. Is what I've learned from them. I mean, that's just the most annoying thing they could have done. Yeah, they're just gonna hit my face. That makes sense. That makes sense. So I need to find Ice Block. So let's do just that. And get some Wisps out. Okay. I'm going to also draw a few cards. Then throw out my Ice Block. Now the question is, do I bump into their 7/6? I don't think so, because I'm trying to set up the Holotech Sing-Along Buddy next turn. And that will take care of the 7/6 for me. Then got the Libram of Divinity. In a light bot. Okay. That's a-okay. If that's what they want to do, I am 100% fine with that. So we're going to Sing Along Buddy, Holotech, and then this will 100% clear their board. And send some nerds right up to their face. Alright. I am very impressed by this card already.
This is your moment.
Taking down Libram Paladin with an average Libram Paladin start. Pretty much every game against that deck looks like that. Just getting achievements, we're doing it all. We're just crushing these like high ranked games. Like you don't get much higher than Bronze 8. Oh yeah. This looks nuts. This looks fan. Oh goodness. Okay, you caught me looking at the Diamond Ursock bundle. You know what? You're right. I shouldn't buy it. I can't even afford it. Only somebody with 1,000 subscribers can probably afford this bad boy. So if you want to help me afford this, actually, I have an idea. Maybe you can journey on down to the subscription button. Maybe give it a little tap. I don't know. We can see where things go. Maybe Diamond Ursock will end up in my collection. Who knows where things will go. Anyway, back to the Imbue Mage gameplay. And, you know, I'm just going to preview more of what this guy has to offer.
Jaina versus Garrosh.
A warrior?
You asked.
In my wild format? I can't believe it. I didn't think this class was playable. Okay. I just need to shake off that I am facing against not a Paladin, Priest, or Mage and just Mulligan. Yeah, this all makes sense to me. Mad Scientist, still good in current year. Pretty nasty combo right there.
I see you've brought guests.
Ooh, the 1/3, the Rover into the deal 1 damage deck is quite the look. Oh yeah, they're armoring up. And I am imbuing. Get the imbue train rolling.
Do you have this in a bigger size?
Okay, okay. So I can go Mad Scientist.
I'll show them all. Thorn in your side.
Bump into there, and this will clear the 2/2. Nice. I remember when they nerfed this card, and like people were like, "This card's dead. It will no longer see play." It turns out 2 damage to a random enemy minion, plenty good. Not a bad card at all. Especially when you like combine it with like Holotech. This card's insane. Okay. Holotech ×2. Let's get out a rigged Faire game as well as an ice block and dish a few points of damage at my opponent. Hopefully they don't deal damage to me because I desperately need those 3 cards. Okay, they're drawing their cards. It's only correct that they allow me to draw my cards. I appreciate it. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. So let's go Wisp Gather. Send a few points of damage to my opponent's head. And then let's get a tour guide out. So Wisprider, I'll be able to play and hit the hero power. Probably the best minion they can get objectioned. Yeah, I would much rather hit that one, I think. So let's do a bit of bumping into their 4/4 because my board is about to be crazy wide because of this fella. And then 3 more damage. Making Odd Paladin look fair. Okay. Now that is a bit of an issue. Few more points of damage going at their minions. This likely takes care of that guy. Yeah. And end the turn. I have officially gotten them down to below 30. Thank you, Renifal. And they do have that sanitized that we suspect that they forged. Actually feeling pretty decent about this game. Let's do some imbuing. Press that button. And let's gobble up one of my wisps. Ooh, sing-along buddy is going to be pretty messed up. Still haven't spent my coin. Don't really need it when you have a hero power that does all that. So next turn, sing-along buddy deals 12 damage. And they also need to figure out a way around this ice block. Actually, no, it deals 14 damage after a Wildfire. So with Wisprider into Sing-Along Buddy works, I do believe.
I'll show you who's boss.
Oh no. That's a bit of a disaster. That's a sizable amount of armor. Into shield shatter, into me taking 14. Okay, that hurts. So this is 7.
I wonder.
So 7. Oh, I can also weave in a Wildfire. Okay. Time to test my theory. Does this trigger twice? It does. Okay. That's kind of messed up. And then we deal an additional 14. So I have 9 cards left, and I have 2 draws for another sing-along buddy. And they already from the depth, so this is going to be some cheap cards. I still have ice block up, so they will need to pop the block. Okay, that's definitely a way to get closer to that. I've already seen 1 rover and I think 2... Well, that's not ideal. Oh, they're gonna try to just kill me this turn. Okay. I don't recommend killing me this turn. Okay, they can't. Okay, fantastic. They didn't even pop the block. Okay, so this summons 6 wisps. So we are just going to Mad Scientist and to just deal 8. Yeah. Do you have another board clear? What a silly question. Of course you do. Now, do I have a sing-along buddy? So sing-along buddy does win the game, and I have 2 draws for it. Just don't gain any more armor. Oh, bummer. Is there any way else to get lethal? Oh wait, no there is. Reckless Apprentice. Just draw Reckless Apprentice. Easy as that. Simply draw the broken card. Cool. So we got through a ton of armor, and Ice Block won the game because we're playing the Mage class. important to note, my opponent did have the legend card back, so like that was, you know, we are in bronze, but whatever.
Jaina versus
A shaman. The variety in Wild today. It's insane.
For it.
Almost as insane as this full hand, which we are full keeping. We have everything we could want and more. The only thing else I could ask for is another Imbue card off the top.
I see you've brought guests.
Yeah, close enough. Get our hero power juiced up early. And there's another Imbue. We'll take it. In the turn, and now we summon a Wisp and deal 2 damage. Might be clicking that button. Or just playing a 2-3. Yeah, let's play a 2-3. You know, I could bump. I could really bump. Or I could just send to the head. Soften him up. So next turn's looking like a pretty easy Flutterwing Guardian. So Flutterwing into, I guess... I'm not going to play the Ice Block yet, just in case they have like some random tech card. I would rather save the Ice Block. Or like discount an Objection instead. So next turn I can produce 3 damage, draw 3 cards. No idea what that could be. Yeah, I still think it's worth drawing 3 cards. Cool. Let's draw 3. There is that Objection I was just talking about. Let's throw that out. Clear him up. And get my opponent down to 29. Checked for counterspell successfully. Checked for Objection. Probably successfully. They can probably spare a greedy partner. They cannot spare the Astalor. You do not want that to get objectioned. Okay. So this summons 3 Wisps. Let's go ahead and fire that off. Cool. Get them down to 22. Have a very intimidating board that they must answer. And commit a lot to the board. Just really fill up that board. If you don't mind. That does not fill up the board. Can't overload this turn. Let's just go with a... just a nice sing-along, buddy. Yeah. Then we'll draw some cards. Swing 4. A little tour guide action, and then present another board they need to deal with. Do you have another elemental destruction? I haven't seen a single duplicate yet, so I'm assuming this is Reno. And if this is just a Reno turn, they're in for a bad time. But also, if they just play into the board, they're in for a bad time. Really, just like in summary, my shaman opponent is in for a bad time. You should just assume that. Okay, but I guess I am also in for potentially a bad time with that move. We do still just deal 8 damage with my hero power. Not bad. Well, Ice Block. And I think that will be it for right now. Yeah, for right now I'm feeling like that's a good play. Here comes the forever frozen board. They kind of have to, because I have 2 Apprentice in my hands. So they need that bird that does the battle cry again. I'm not thinking that... Yeah, I'm not thinking that Sleep Breaker is going to fit the bill. Devolve's not bad.
The culprit was...
Your opponent's minions cost 1 more. I mean, that's just messed up. Like, I wouldn't do that to you, Kisses. And frankly, it's kind of messed up that you did it to me. You think you know a guy, and then you get freaking forensic dustered. It's just not right. You think this is gonna be the mirror match, or nah?
Am I dreaming?
My sorcery will prevail.
I think Tour Guide is oddly enough a late game card. Does this just all come down to who finds Reckless Apprentice and wrecks the opponent first? Pun intended. I think it does. So let's keep the cheap Imbue stuff and look for Reckless. Okay, okay. Ice Block also seems crucial in the mirror match. And if they have Ice Block tech, I lose. Let's go with a Wildfire to get the party started. My opponent's going to respond with a fresh hero power. And I'm going to play the Spirit Gather that I top decked. My opponent knows that I'm lucky. Very important play right there. So they can be like, oh, of course I didn't draw mine and they just top deck theirs. You know, it's about the psychological damage in the Hearthstone video game. Another hero power. Not the most impressive plays out of my opponent. So I think I'm just going to go super wide. Yeah, just go wide. Now, if they have any AoE effect, it's a bummer, but that's okay. They are on this deck, of course. To be expected. And I found my Reckless Apprentice, which is perfect. So let's go Mysteries. Objection is absolutely perfect. This summons 2 Wisps. So let's make room for 2 of them. See where these go first. Word. Dish like that, and they're at 21. Perfect. So now I have Reckless Apprentice, my hero power is better than theirs, and I'm about to Objection the best thing in their deck. Maybe a Wisprider? Imagine.
Whoa there, Wispies.
We don't need to imagine. We are seeing it in real time. Imagine if I do it again. There's no way. I'm just speaking recklessly right now. There's no way they play another one into Objection. Or like a Flutterwing Guardian. No, they're not gonna test Objection with that.
By petal and sword.
Honestly, that's a fantastic burn.
Not all of them.
Okay. I think my Reckless Apprentice might be a little better. Marginally better. Check it out.
I can take 'em. Wait.
And I cannot click my hero power again, which usually means the game is over. So we're just gonna kind of watch these fireworks go off and just contemplate how much more skillful I was than my opponent, because I drew my Spirit Gatherers on turn 2 and 3. High skill. Super high skill matchup right here.